have 0, and then we're going up in 50s. No, we're not going up in 50s, we're going up in 10s then. 60, 70, 80, 90, and then this one here is 49, 59, 69, 79, 89, and 109. Okay, and the frequencies, so as you can see, since the question is so similar, I'm just leaving the same file open. 7, 31, 68, 71, 17, and 6. Now, here they didn't give me the lower and the upper boundary, but it's not too difficult to work out. What's the upper boundary here? 49.5. And here the next one? Yeah. And so on. Now, the lower boundary would be this. What would it be? Well, yeah, it would have to be the upper boundary, the previous one. So 89. Yeah, no, this is the question. The 0. What's the lower boundary for the first one? Yeah, you have two choices. You can call it 0, or you can call it minus 0.5. Now, because this here is number of DVDs sold, this number can never be negative, because you can't sell less than 0 DVDs. So for me, I feel it's most appropriate to use 0. Although, I don't see a big problem if you used minus 0.5. It's not really going to change the answer. For example, oh yeah, well, we'll get to the calculations in a minute. Anyways, the x is the midpoint, as we've seen before, but it's the midpoint of the lower plus the upper. So that's 24.75. Now notice if you use minus 0.5, you get a tiny difference in the answer, but it's nothing major. And then here, this is the squares. Okay. Oh, and here goes the cumulative frequency. I might as well fill in the table at the start. So the first thing is the average. We've seen how to do that a few times already, so might as well go straight to the answer. And here it is. It worked out to be 67.85. If you round this to 3 significant figures, you would get 67.9. Now, watch what happens if I make the change here to minus 0.5. Did this answer change? No, it's still 67.9. So all I'm saying is, to 3 significant figures, it didn't matter which I picked. So don't worry about that. Let me squeeze it a bit more. There we go. Here is the square of 67, and here is the average of all these squares. Again, we've seen this a few times. And standard deviation, again, is the square root of this minus this. Do you notice how for 3 years in a row, the question has been, for those 3 years, exactly the same? So without looking, what's the next thing they probably ask me to do? After standard deviation? Yeah. And here it is. Have a guess. Yeah. So I'll draw my chart. The B6, it is number of DVDs sold, cumulative frequency. There we go. And what do you think they asked me at the end? Good guess. You're right. So at 200, the median is where? At the 100 mark, a little before 70, like 68, 69. 69 maybe. When you do it on graph paper, you can measure it exactly. Okay? The 200 divided by 2 is 100. This is the answer. 69, roughly. Yeah? What was it like last year, in 2014? So in 2014, last year was a little bit different. First part was calculate the mean, so that's the same. Next part is draw the histogram. It's only a little different. And then for the third part is they want you to calculate the area. So they say here is how many are above this number. Do you remember? It's like what I did with the height in my class. So it's the same thing as that, is what I did in class. And then there's a B part here where they give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They give you 11 numbers and they ask you for the mean. You know how to do that, don't you? Standard deviation, median, and quartiles from a list of 11 numbers. So what do you, first thing you do with the numbers? Order them. And it's also nice if you have 11 numbers, which one is the median? The sixth number. So, you know, it's a straightforward question. There should be no complications. Yeah? Okay.